Hey VC, this is Big Star 1000, and I've just finished filming the Revolutions number, the Gimme 10, 1977, and I've got the very same box in front of me, and I was just talking about this a second ago, Steely Dan Asia, which almost made my list. Love this record. I I think that's there's a there's a school of thinking that says that Steely Dan's not a cool band. They make polished music and so on and so forth. But I think deep down, if you listen to the songs on this, you have to give it to them. It's a phenomenal record. So 1977 Reject. All these records are records that came out in 1977 and that I couldn't include in my video. So this episode of Revolutions will be dedicated to just that. I want to shout out a couple of people before I forget. Okay, number one, I'd like to shout out Nexus One. Martin, Danish guy who lives in Munich, Germany. Um, Love your videos, love your attitude, love your channel. You're exactly the type of VC member that I love watching. And I'll leave a link to your channel. Everybody subscribe to Nexus One. Very worth watching. Bobby Tio, I really like your videos too. Guy in Canada. Great little videos that you make. Alex Martinez, who just made his intro, also has a great little collection and very very interesting to watch video. That'll do for this week, and maybe next week we'll shout out other people. I just it's kind of spur of the moment. It's not really planned, but yeah, these people maybe if you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're cool. And okay, so I want to continue. I'm already on 3 minutes. With a whole bunch of great 76 records. I mean, can you ignore Rumors, 1970, 77, what I'm talking about? 77, Rumors, Fleetwood Mac. To me, the best periods between Rumors and Tusk, 77 to 79, is really my favorite time for Fleetwood Mac, and I love this period of the band, and I love the songs, and I mean this is probably cheesy as hell, but I love this record. Dreams, Never Going Back Again, The Chain. It's a gorgeous record. Alright, in a completely different style, here is a sort of soul jazz record. Disco, funk, soul, jazz, electronic, talking shit. James Mason, guitar player. Rhythm of Life. This is a very very difficult record to get an original of. Very expensive. Luckily, it's been reissued for people like myself. No, seriously, I'm going to pay $100 for this. Probably not. I don't really have the funds, and could I justify it by playing it all the time? Probably not. But I'm glad somebody's put it out again, and I can listen to it and enjoy it. I had this on download for years, and then it was reissued again. It's on Chiara Oscuro, which is an American label, New York. Very very cool record, funky, and just sample the title track, Rhythm of Life. This guy is also into Rick Blue. In a different style of music, here is OK Temiz, Oriental Wind. OK Temiz is a Turkish drummer, percussionist, and worked a lot in Sweden with Swedish musicians. He's got a Bobo Stenson on piano, Paella Danielsson on bass. This is a ethnic world music, jazz fusion tour de force, we'll say. Brilliant record on Sonnets. His records don't come cheap, unfortunately. This is This, I believe, is an original one on it. They don't come cheap, really. They don't. One of my most wanted records is Drummer of Two Worlds, which is a $200 record. I mean, I wish they'd reissue that too and buy it. Here is a US/Brazilian record, which is fantastic, absolutely top notch. Stone Alliance. Stone Alliance is a band, is an American band with Steve Grossman, Gene Paella. Gene Paella, who is the guy who runs this label, PM. And on this, they've got Monsieur Montero, Brazilian trumpeter. There you go, here he is. And this record is just cooking. It's like a Latin jazz fusion. Just excellent record from 1977 on the PM label. I don't think this costs very much money to buy. It really is to die for. Stone Alliance, Monsieur Montero. A great recommendation. A couple of weeks ago, I hung around with the boys, Campo, James Buttery, Christian, Champ Sound, to the record fair when I bought this 1977 Mandre debut record, which is a top record, really excellent record. Phenomenal disco funk. Andre Lewis also happened to be in Maxane. Yeah, just great records. Got a couple of CDs in front of me. I was talking about Lust for Life, but Iggy Pop pulled out two great records in '77, The Idiot and Lust for Life, which I like equally. And The Idiot is great. Night Clubbing is on there. It's a great record. Just next door, I was just playing Exodus by Marley and the Wailers. Maybe I'll make a segue to reggae in a second. This is one of his strongest records. Brilliant as well. And the highlights are things like Jamming, Waiting in Vain, One Love, People Get Ready. And the opener, Natural Mystic, is great. And this Australian masterpiece, The Saints, I'm Stranded. First album from a band from Brisbane, The Saints. And I'm Stranded was sort of the first punk single as we know it. I mean, was the Sex Pistols were trying to beat it. So I was saying maybe I'll make a segue to some reggae records if I can find some in this file. For example, in '77, Rosefish, Collyweed and Cornbread by Lee Scratch Perry came out. It was one of his best records, without a doubt. A great record. Lee Perry, The Upsetter, which is a dub/roots reggae record, which, yeah, I thoroughly recommend. Lee Perry. And also, if I want to talk about reggae a little bit more, I mean, this is an absolute classic as well. 2 Sevens Clash. I mean, it does actually say 77 on the cover. From 1977, Culture. A key recording of roots reggae, really. I mean, there's nothing much you can say about this. And another one, which is just as essential, is The Heart of the Congos by the Congos, which, yeah, again, those three records, if you want to get into reggae, you don't know what to buy, they're kind of like your bread and butter, basically, reggae. Let's not talk about reggae, kind of on a tangent. Talk about Fella as well. Afrika 70. Sorrow, Tears and Blood. Absolutely essential. One of the best Fella records. I had a friend over for lunch last Sunday and we grooved through that. It was fantastic. We had a great time. Man, I've got so many records in this box. I'll go to 20 minutes. I'll just talk and when 20 minutes stops, I stop. A French record of which is not very an artist not very well known, Mama Beatekelski, La Folle. If you're into Catherine Ribeiro and you've exhausted Catherine Ribeiro and you don't know what you listen to, this is your next step. This girl is just great. She's a singer-songwriter. She is very much in the vein of Ribeiro. She sings, plays electric guitar, has this kind of wailing voice. This is just a stellar record, La Folle. It's on a small French label called Isadora. This is an original press, and I don't think these cost very much money to buy. Well, from France anyway. This is a double album, and it's one of the best of its kind from France from the 70s, and I would highly recommend it. Well, staying in France, here's an absolute delightful French record, Hydravion, which is an album on the great French label Cobra. So I'll show you because I love this label. This is the side project of Philippe Bézombe, who was half of the band Paul. Bézombe Brisé is Paul, and this is Philippe Bézombe with its great sort of somewhat hypnosis kind of sleeve. I don't think it is. No, it's not. But I love this little Hydravion is that. It's one of those what you call them, planes that can land on water, whatever they're called. I just completely lost it there. Electronic, pulsating, think Heldon, think Tangerine Dream, but with a bit more guitars maybe, so a great record. And well, since I'm on France, here is an album on a great French label, Moshe Naim, Siegfried Kessler, Man and Animals, solo electronic, electric piano. Siegfried Kessler is a pianist, and he sort of overdubbed lots of keyboard synth, and it's a very driving kind of hypnotic kind of sound on Moshe Naim, which is one of the most collectible French labels. Where's the name of the label? Moshe Naim. There you go, Moshe Naim. Absolutely fantastic record. Shout out to Chris Cole, who loves this record. Chris, if you're watching, I want to put some records back into the box so that I can move a bit. How about this? I mean, I don't love the whole record, but the title, I Feel Love, is just a high point of music, full stop. And it's a great song, and it takes much of the second side. Actually, no, it doesn't take much of the second side. It's the other big song that takes much of the second side. Love to Love You Baby, that's right, which is on the other album. But nonetheless, I Feel Love is kind of the blueprint of a lot of things. I mean, Public Image Limited listened to Donna Summer and Giorgio Moroder with their mouth wide open. Tim Blake from Gong, Crystal Machine, again in the same realm of existence as Klaus Schulze and Tangerine Dream and Edgar Froese and Harald Grosskopf and all sorts of musicians. Kind of, again, synthy, pulsating. Talk about Richard Pinas and Eldon, and if that's your references, this is a great record. So Tim Blake was in Gong, and this is his solo project on Egg Records, 1977. Fantastic album. Here is a bit of a couple of records that are sort of funky related, soulful, funky. Here is The Genie by Bobby Lyle. What a great record. Just a soul funk kind of record. Not really that obscure, really, really dynamic, funky. This is on Capitol Records. Who is on this? I can't remember. Just too many records to think of. But yeah, Capitol Records. Yeah, funky, soulful. Yeah, just a great record. And this is amazing. I told you, 1977 is like, it's an explosion of music. Last Poet with Bernard Purdy, Delights of a Gun. Now, if you've never listened to The Last Poets and you were a bit, you're not sure, this is the place to start for sure. It is the best album. Their best album without question, in my opinion anyway, on Douglas Records. Original press, I believe. The Last Poets. Alright. In the Gimme 1077, I was talking about Brian Eno, Before and After Science, and there's a pastiche song of the Talking Heads. This was their first record in '77, which is a terrific record. Any album that can actually write, produce a song like Love Comes to Town and Psycho Killer, and I mean, it's just an absolutely magnificent record. And if they'd only made this record, it would be considered a lost classic, really. 1977 on Sire. A little bit of jazz here. I've got 17 minutes. I've got 3 minutes left. Survivor Suite on ECM, Keith Jarrett. One of his best. Great records. Featuring Dewey Redman, Charlie Hayden, and Paul Motion. Recorded in Germany, obviously. It's ECM. There you go. Here is a little jewel that reappeared last year, or I think last year. Numero Group. This is Jordan de la Sierra with Song of the Rose. I believe it's from 1977 originally. I think it is. I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Doesn't matter. I still listened to it and I still enjoyed it. Jordan de la Sierra. This is kind of a new age version of the Cologne Concert by Keith Jarrett. If you like the Cologne Concert, this guy went into a church. No, he recorded his piano improvisations, and then he went into a church and played the tape and overdubbed in a sort of like in the church setting, and you get this really echoey kind of Keith Jarrett kind of version of. Okay, a few more. This is one of the best Quebec progressive albums ever. Manège, Ni Vent Ni Nouvelle. Reminds me a lot of Zappa, Hot Rats, a little bit of Gentle Giant as well. A great record. So Ni Vent Ni Nouvelle by Manège. I was really having a lot of fun listening to this yesterday. New Brute and Panties by Ian Dury and the Blockheads. Simply one of the most essential sort of UK punk records on the punk scene. This is just sensational. Ian Dury. Ghana, 77. K Frimpong, some Latin-infused Afrobeat from Ghana. Great records. Jacques Brel. The Belgian legend. This is a very, very last album before he died in 77. It's a lovely, lovely record. Wonderful songs, but I think you have to speak French to really enjoy it. Brel. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. Okay, come on. We can do it. 20 minutes. Post-punk bands. MX80 Sounds, Heart Attack, which were on Ralph Records. Ralph Records from San Francisco. Friends of the Residents, Heart Attack. Really weird and wacky post-punk. Amazing records, really kind of abrasive. If you like Peru Boo and things like that. I believe Ashra released 2 records in '77, New Age of Earth and Blackouts. Ashra, what happened after Ashra Temple is basically Manu Goiching on guitar and lots of effects. So you know them. I'm not going to talk about them too much. What about this one? Do I need to talk about this guy here? No. The fantastic One World by John Martin. Amazing, essential, great. Recorded in Jamaica outside with lots of people. Dave Pegg, Lee Perry, I think, is on this. Lee Scratch Perry. And finally, a French records, jazz fusion, excellent record. Le Désert Noir, Madame Marcus Feld on Egg Records. I will stop here. These records are all from 1977. I hope you enjoyed. 20 minutes. If it was too long, you could stop me anyway. Comments, responses, insults, abuse, whatever. Love you all, and until next time.